That was Mungisi there coming to us with that report. You must stay tuned. We'll bring you one later as well. Now, in an age where children have access to social media and can rant and rave about what made them angry or who made them angry, did you know that you can protect yourself and your children against losses they can suffer by getting social media cover? Well, insurance companies have started offering protection against losses that you could incur from social media posts. A product called social media liability cover. Now, does the insurance cover everything from racial slurs, cultural and religious slurs? And what is social media cover? Now, to unpack this for us, we are joined by Simon Colman. He's the head of commercial solutions from SHA Specialist Underwriters to give us the answers. A very good morning to you, Simon, and welcome.
Yeah, morning to you too, Elvis.
Let's start from the top. What is social media liability cover?
Well, it's really a legal defense type of cover. So it's the sort of policy that accepts that in the modern age people are communicating in a different way, largely using social media, things like Facebook and Twitter. And someone may slip up, inadvertently post something without any malicious intent, but may end up upsetting a person or a group of people. And our law allows for people that do that to be sued by the injured person or parties. And that could, of course, mean that there's some kind of legal costs. And if the case is lost, there'd also be damages, which could be substantial. So the policy really covers that sort of thing.
Now, does it also cover everything, to racial slurs, cultural and religious slurs that we've seen, such as people like Penny Sparrow?
No, it doesn't. And as a business, we really had to make a careful decision on that, because whilst the person making those comments may argue that they didn't intend to do that, as a business, we really thought it would be against public policy to defend those sort of actions, even if they turn out not to be true. So we made a call and we said, look, we're looking at social media generally, but we're going to stay away from the racial or cultural and religious issues, which means, of course, you're left with general defamatory type of stuff. You know, somebody making a comment about somebody that they know, or perhaps about a politician, and then getting taken to task on it. Those are the sort of things that are covered by the social media liability policy.
So the policy itself does not give people the license just to go out there and say whatever they like to anybody they like?
No, absolutely not. And I mean, if you draw a comparison with owning a vehicle and the risks that are attached to that, you know, the minute you take out an insurance policy, it doesn't mean that you can start driving recklessly. And the social media policy works the same. It's there to say, look, if something slips out and you get taken to task on it, the policy will back you up and defend you. But if it turns out you're what, let's say we would call on Twitter a troll, in other words, going through someone's timeline and seeing that they're deliberately baiting people all the time, those kind of claims are not going to be entertained by the insurance policy. So you still have an obligation and a duty to act responsibly on social media. So
it doesn't take that responsibility away from the person in question. They must still exercise that at all times. But what does this cover now protect really? If you just can give us you did mention some of it, but in broad terms.
Well, I mean, if you take, for example, that terrible incident involving the hockey mom, where a picture was posted on social media by somebody else in this WhatsApp group. Now, if she decided to take legal action, this is the hockey mom, against someone else in the group for sharing that picture, it would have defended that kind of action. So I'm sure the person who shared it went, oh, look, this is really funny, let me share it, without really being fully aware of what the consequences were going to be for the poor woman whose picture it was. So it's really there just to remove some of that financial uncertainty, but at the same time saying, look, we all have to act responsibly, particularly if you have children that are on social media. You still have a responsibility to educate them.
So can anybody can get cover from this, and can parents also perhaps include their children in this cover?
They can. So the way that it works is SHA isn't licensed to sell directly to the public, so our policies are all distributed through insurance brokers. So an insurance broker would add that policy to their domestic insurance policy, so to the car insurance policy or the house owner's policy, and then it automatically covers the other members of the family. So the children that are on social media would also be protected by the policy.
And what is the cost structure, perhaps, if you can give us a ballpark figure there?
Sure, it's been designed to be an add-on, as I said, to an existing insurance policy. So it's priced at around 8 Rand a month for 500,000 Rands worth of cover.
Wonderful. Simon, thank you so much for your time and joining us.
Thank you, Elvis.
That was Simon Colman, the head of commercial solutions from SHA Specialist Underwriters, talking to us about social media cover. Have you ever? You can protect yourself right now from getting exploited on social media. You can actually take people to court and they pay for it. Let's move on now. The African